Hello everyone, my name is Sujal Ahirrao. I am from IIIT Nagpur. This is my microprocessor and interfacing project mentored by Dr. Nelson Kuraija. In this project, we have applied microprocessor 8085 to develop electronic voting machine. The members of the group are Pratham, Pratik, Sujal and Anahal. Project overview. 8085 microprocessor is a basic microprocessor and has variety of applications in day-to-day life. It requires less support circuitry, allowing simpler and less expensive microcomputer systems to be built. It can be used to build various machines such as automatic traffic light system, electronic voting machine, components of voting machine, background setup and scope. Let us discuss this in detail. Let's delve into the background of electronic voting machine. The EVM is comprised of two fundamental microprocessor-based components, the interface responsible for managing the candidate list and the storage, which function as counter. These components play a pivotal role in the seamless operation of the EVM, showcasing the intricate integration of microprocessor technology in the electoral process. Setup. So this is the setup of the EVM. Candidate list is shown here. The memory shown here contains a total number of votes. Like for the Rahul, the total number of votes are stored in location 3000 and Modi is stored in 3001. And similarly for others. The ASCII value of the letters are stored in the memory of microprocessors and then displayed on the screen. In this way, they are printed on the screen. Number 1 is for Rahul, number 2 is for Modi and similarly other. If the input given by user is 1, then vote goes for the Rahul. If it is 3, then vote goes for the Arvind. The assembly language code is the sequence of instructions for printing names in MUP 8085. It initiates by calling a subroutine named LECO, then loads a value into register B and initializes the H and L pair of registers. Subsequently, it calls the printf routine, moves a specific value into register A and outputs it to a port. The process is followed by invoking a delay one subroutine. The pattern repeats with different values in register B and the corresponding outputs and delays continue. The code likely to pertain to interfacing with external devices or managing input/output operations in a microprocessor-based system. This line is an assembler directive. It defines a symbolic constant named input port with a value 0 in hexadecimal. The EQ directive is used for symbolic assignment in assembly language. So, from this point onwards in the program, wherever input port is used, it will be replaced with 0 in hexadecimal. This is typically used for making the code more readable and maintainable. This assembly code checks if the input located at address 3000 in hexadecimal is 1. If true, it jumps to the label mode, incrementing the address afterwards, likely the part of the program managing vote counts, especially for Rahul. This code checks if the input located at address 3001 pointed by the HL pair is 2. If true, it jumps to the vote, potentially updating the vote count for Modi. Afterwards, HL pair is incremented. This assembly code checks if the input located at the address pointed to by the HL pair is 3. If true, it jumps to the label vote, potentially updating the vote count for Arvind. Afterwards, the HL register pair is incremented. The assembly code checks if the input is 4. If true, it jumps to the start level, potentially updating the vote count for Mamta. If the input is not 4, it jumps to invalid level, treating it as an invalid input. In the case of invalid input, this assembly code called the LECO subroutine sets a value in register B, loads an address in HL pair, calls the printf subroutine, and then jumps to the start level. This likely handles the display of an error message and returns to the main program. In this code, when the program reaches the vote level, it increments a register called the LECO subroutine, sets a value in register B, initializes HL pair, calls the printf subroutine, and then jumps to the start level. This section likely manages the voting process and updates display or output accordingly. The scope of this program is the program can be used for election, used for domestic purposes such as college election, poll, etc. Candidate list can be increased, though the number of votes remains 256, but we can update the program to increase the number of votes, and the program can be terminated at our will. Thank you.